Hiya Toon Fanatics, and welcome to Toon Corner. And today we'll be talking about an animated series called Regular Show. It was an animated series that used to appear on Cartoon Network throughout the majority of the 2010s. Anyway, the plot goes along like this. A couple of park workers named Mordecai and Rigby are given a job, and they would slack off from their job. And so they would eventually encounter a problem. Eventually the problem will become so big that something unusual would happen, like, for example, they would accidentally release the Destroyer of Worlds, for example. Anyway, so they would encounter the problem with an epic battle, and right after the epic battle, their park manager boss, Benson, would just pop out of nowhere and just yell at them for slacking off. And would just yell out, "Clean up this mess or you're fired!" As far as the plot goes, it is very good. It is very creative. The people who have worked on the series basically just let their imagination run wild. They have combined action, comedy, drama, horror, sci-fi, and fantasy. All those kinds of genres have been wrapped up in the series, and throughout the series they would make references to the 1980s, and from time to time you would hear a 80s song like "Hit Me With Your Best Shot," for example. As far as the cast goes, Mordecai is a pretty chill dude that likes to have fun, but he also has trouble with relationships. At first he had a crush on Margaret, and he would be too scared to ask her out, and eventually later on he actually got hooked up with CJ, and then after a while something would go horribly wrong between Mordecai and CJ, so they end up breaking up. And so thankfully Mordecai actually did receive his happily ever after by the end of the series. Rigby is Mordecai's irresponsible friend that actually went through a lot of character evolution as the series progresses, and he also has gotten into a relationship with Eileen. Skips is an immortal that knows everything. Pops is a lovable goofball. Muscle Man and High Five Ghost are a couple of dudes that like to have fun by pulling off pranks and saying "my mom" jokes. And Benson is the park manager that gets angry real easily. And all of the villains in the series are really cool. A lot of them are basically rather comedic, menacing, or just plain awesome. As far as the series overall, I highly recommend it. It is a must-watch anime series. It's also personally my favorite Cartoon Network show, and honestly I would say Regular Show is the most relatable animated series I have ever seen. I mean, if we were able to pull back some of the layers of what's made Regular Show so awesome, we will eventually come across the layer where it's basically about two dudes in their 20s that likes to have fun and will overcome obstacles that are rather big or small. And I think that is something that we can all relate to. And the question of the day is, what are your thoughts on Regular Show? Just let me know in the comment section down below. Frequently event requests. And I'll see you next time in Toon Corner.